Yo, what's good, everybody? For all my listeners out there tonight, man, I got a treat for y'all tonight, baby. I'm going straight back to the home team. No, I'm originally going back to the home team for real, for real. Yo, for all my listeners out there, man, I got my cat in the building, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's a writer. You know what I'm saying? He's an activist. You dig what I'm saying? He's an actor. Yo, this nigga's an
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. Yo, I'm saying, yo, this is Deeo in the building. You hear what I'm saying? And yo, we gonna sit down with
Oh,
D for a little while, baby. He gonna let us know what it takes for him to do the things that he do, man, and stay active in his community, doing the things that he does in his community. Yo,
For sure.
Deeo,
What's
what's
up?
up,
What's up?
man?
Pleasure. You?
What's up, my brother?
One day at a time, man, and I'm grateful for life and no complaints. No room to being ungrateful. You know how that goes.
No question
Um,
well,
about
let
it.
me well let me just say this: you represent right East Brooklyn, right?
It's New
I,
York,
I represent the
honey.
black man for the planet. How about that? See, we get too section off and sectioning things and just being still like, under certain Willie Lynch programs that we got to break away from mentally to be free to build and be able to be conglomerate and staying unified. That man right there has taught me a great deal of a lot of things, a great experience to become a man. To be a man is to accept things that you have no control over that you can't change. And when you
Absolutely.
learn those conditions, then you'll be able to, be able to, see things and see life different when people sometimes come in and opposed to being a friend or being a good spouse to a certain degree because sometimes greed and just itself just consumes the mind and takes control of the heart. It makes
No
it
question.
different for us to understand to we as a people that we come from being kings and queens, it's our bloodline. But then we don't respect those things and those aspects. We deal with emotions. So what happens is they allow the heart to control the mind instead of letting the mind control the heart to understand.
Right.
No question. Theo, baby, let everybody know, man, when you originally started, man, your quest on this journey, you know what I'm saying? And the things that you started doing, man, early in the game, man, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to work our way up to, man, what you doing right now, my brother.
Well, I most definitely want to thank God the first, beneficent, the most merciful, God Himself. Coming through, watching, learning, and just being young in the neighborhood and just seeing how things was going on and looking up to you and seeing how you were moving and you always stay stern as a man. So it was like a road to follow. I want to just give a shout out to Tyrone Johnson, may he rest in peace, which is tough brother. Also your moms who educated us a lot. God bless her soul, the queen.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
those experiences, what led us to open up our minds. So the experience, going to jail, getting caught up, went to jail, and came home, and it was crazy because I wasn't supposed to be in jail, but just running with the crowd and coming up and, wanting to fashion and seeing how the older guys were moving, we were attracted to that. So it was
Right.
like a guide for us, which was
Mm-hmm.
it sounds weird, but it guided us to become men. So
Yep.
back to that situation and upon of going into hustling and getting caught up and getting locked up from state cases to fed cases and then being on TV was amazing because at
Mm-hmm.
that time I've been through like probably two or three different car accidents, got shot three different four times. My daughter was born in an incubator and God still gave me a shot. So I said, yo, I gotta stop playing. This is serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say alhamdulillah to that because upon from coming from the federal, the probation didn't want to allow me to go and do anything at that time because federal probation is different from state probation. So I
Right.
had a letter came from Central Casting that allowed me to come in and do Dave Chappelle, which was the episode of I know black people. And it was weird because Donnell Rollins used to live in our house. And
Yeah.
Donnell was a close friend. He still is a close friend. No, no, never to knock on one. And it was funny because he was like, yo, come up to the show, man, and it'll probably do you some good. And plus you need a new change. And I wound up coming to the show and Dave wound up asking me a few questions and he embraced me, all
Right.
respect to Dave Chappelle. He embraced me, and it was about talking about things that we went through as experience. Like, where do you get a loose cigarette from? Oh, that's easy. That's from the Arab. So it was hilarious to the other ethnic group background. And what's the
Right.
chicken here? Oh, you find that anywhere. That's something you take home and you wear out. So it was
Mm-hmm.
funny, but at the same time, the auditory, but to make you laugh of what reality is. Because the
Right.
reality is we live off of most things that they say is tragic, but it's humor in that. And it's weird because if you had to do something, for example, you crossing the street but you drunk, but you can't cross the street. You every time you're going back and forth while you're drunk, you think you're not gonna get hit and the car's coming fast, but it look like it's coming slow. You kind of
Right.
get what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
life. And
Right.
then with that, getting doing that show, then wound up getting violated, coming back to do the show, and then wound up working with Chris Rock, which I received the Grammy thanks to Prince Paul. Got a shout out to Prince Paul, Dead World Production. I
Yeah.
received the Grammy for the Never Scared album, which
Mm-hmm.
I received the Grammy recognition. And it was weird because then it started climbing up the ladder. Wound up
Right.
doing Blue Bloods, other shows like um, Law and Order, Amsterdam. The list continues. But also got a
Yeah.
shout out to my cousin for putting out the movie 730, which
Right.
we did over 100 million streams. So we've been in politics over the intellectual property, which they want to give
Mhm.
you a fraction of a cent, was total disrespect.
Right.
That's still slavery, and you have
Right.
to fight for that. And it takes years to fight for that, just like the woman who created Terminator and all that. They still done never properly pay it, but you got to learn the business. So
Yeah.
Right.
going back to my career and up and coming from Project Heat, Let's Go, Bum Rush, it still was just continuing to going on.
Right.
And that inspiration, I was inspired through that gentleman there, the people in the neighborhood, and then when I was speaking to kids, Royalty Rentals, I got to give a shout out to. We gave out about 20,000 turkeys, 15,000 book bags to different boroughs. So it was just seeing ourselves giving back with nothing. That grandma used to say, you can make something out of nothing. And
Absolutely.
it's a true saying.
Right.
Never thinking I could act. I never took acting as like I never went to
So,
school for
so
it.
I want you to talk
Right.
a little bit about that, right? So, because it's a bit, this cat's watching us every day, right? And we know that.
Right.
We, you know what I mean? Let them know about the part of it, man, where you had to audition. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us are shoe-ins, you dig? But then some of us
Yeah.
really got to sit down, man, and lock in,
It's scary
figure this out.
because
You know what I mean?
well, how I got into doing so many auditions were like just put myself back into a deep space. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't know about anybody else. Just like losing loved ones, and I still go visit my grandmas and my brother to this day at the grave. And I touch into that, which is my reality because that could be me. That's next coming when God decides. And it
Right.
took me to a sad point to be able to become the real character to the role that I have to play because it
Mm-hmm.
makes you kind of angry, it makes you upset. So you have to build these ladders up to those
Mhm.
stages to bring out the inner you. It's kind of like what Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror. So
Mm-hmm.
when I always rehearsed, I looked at myself to look for my flaws, even in real life. So
Right.
it's crazy.
Right.
Even in real life, to find yourself to be compatible to someone or someone that could be compatible to you in the sense of just going straight. So I use that technique, that technique, and it works because if you look at yourself every day and you see a different change, you might get a little bump right here, or you trying to pull that hair out, or you got a gray hair, you trying to pull that off, you trying to change. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? So when you look at yourself and given what you're if you're sloppy and you're lazy, you will see it in the work. You were not giving it your all. You're not giving it the that that it needs because the mirror reflects every single
It
thing that
really
you do.
does. And
And you
what you
can't
speak,
hide from it.
what you speak to
Mhm.
yourself will come back too, because and then if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, just like Ryan Dyer said too as well. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a cold fact. But the hard part of it is out in society where you get caught up and get lost. So you get in a
Hmm.
relationship and you love the party more than they love yourself, but intellectually they're not there. They're afraid. Some people don't want to see you make it. Like, I'm so proud to just be a part of this show or be on the show and talking to you guys because I know what it takes and people don't understand what it takes. And I look at the stories and they talk about these stars who built these legacies, the story of Walmart, the story of Home Depot, or just Tyler Perry sleeping in his cars. People don't understand what it takes. They don't want to go to that extent in life to face those challenges. They take the
Yeah.
easy way out. So in acting, it was kind of stress reliever for me. Like, my grandmother and uncle used to teach me to feed the birds in the morning, which is therapeutic. And you feed life to get back good from life. And my grandmother said, let good weigh out your bad. So if I gave it my best, it's not still good because it's still more to come to be better.
Right. Right.
And you go through, and a lot of things. I just did a actual sitcom with Kenny, Chris's brother, that at the end we wound up not really seeing eye to eye, but we still kept it cordial because of the politics of it. It's like you got to learn the business, and that keeps you back a lot. Where I didn't play those other roles because it's forbidden for God for
Right.
me. I can't
Mm-hmm.
play those roles. That's not me. That's not
Right.
me in all, because number one, I'm grateful for what God has created, such as a queen as yourself, to be the other half of life, to compassion, and
Yeah.
people don't
Right.
find it compassionate to respect that. So it's
Right.
always a craft in the things that you do, and I think that I'm gonna continue doing that. I got my own soap product, which it takes me to elevation of that light in life, and be
That's
able to
beautiful.
promote it. Cartoon, toilet paper, a list of essentials that I want to claim back through God, for rightfully was ours that we created anyway. Kind of
Right.
like the people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who built those legacies, like I said, and you can't stop it. But if you're only one individual, it takes you some time, and it's going to take more time, but you just can't give up. That's all it
Yeah.
is. So I
Yeah.
did Ray Donovich. I did all different types of shows, but I didn't uh, change who I am as a person, because if you do that, then you certain things may work for other people that don't work for us. And I don't think
Absolutely.
consciously knowing, I don't want that karma, knowing that I stepped on someone to get ahead, even though we've been stepped on all our lives.
All
You
our life.
understand
You
me?
know what I'm
So
saying? And you know what I mean? We know how to push them off. So you got to learn to push them off you too, baby. You know what I mean?
of course, and that's the inner strength that you taught us, that you taught
Absolutely.
myself.
So some of the things that a lot of people don't know, right? And you could be watching TV, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Deeo would just pop up on the screen, right? So
Mhm.
he talked about all of the shows that he's been involved with, all of the different episodes that he's been in, all of that. People don't really understand the longevity, the hard work. You know what I'm saying? The trials and tribulations that this man that we don't know where I
Yeah.
went. It's like he just kind of got to a certain place and just abandoned, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
things and the places and the people that taught him to be who he is. You dig?
Right.
And I respect that so much. Not only that, it's my little brother. So no matter whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. When he
That's a
called me,
fact.
you know what I'm saying. When he called me, yo, I'm there. Like I'm like, you know how it is. You know me, Sonny. You like anybody just can't call my phone and want to have a conversation about whatever, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man,
Absolutely.
come on, man. I'm
Absolutely.
busy. You know what I'm saying? So, Deeo, I want you to talk a little bit about how you lend yourself to your community, because there's a lot of web series that's
Mm-hmm.
out there where you've been involved in, and people see you and they don't really know really how that all come about or how that came about. I need you to talk a little bit about that, man, about how you stay grounded, man, in the things you do in the community that you're doing, man.
One of the things I do is, like yesterday, me and my friend was walking, we seen a guy post, and he said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Nah,
Your phone is breaking up a
Hey,
little
I
bit,
think
huh?
your phone breaking up. Did you move? Did you shift it? Okay.
can you hear me?"
It's static.
Yeah, I think he lost his signal a little bit. I think you lost your signal, Cat.
Again, wait again, wait.
All right, we gonna get him back on.
We
Get
gonna
him.
get him back. Pop back in, baby, because this gonna be. Wait. Say something.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Your sound, you was beautiful in the beginning. I don't know what happened and shit. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
them agents tapping in because they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that knowledge he's kicking. For
Yo,
interviews. Also, make sure that you purchase our new magazine as well on www.mediamaidemagazine.com.
yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, Media Made Magazine, Media Made TV, YouTube. Follow me, S Mills Media. Just make sure that y'all tap in. We are live. We got to bring our dude back.
Yeah.
Technical
Yeah.
difficulties, but that's okay.
I need Deeo. I need some of that, man.
Yeah,
Man.
let's bring this energy back in.
Yeah. I need some of that
Yeah,
inspiration, though. Absolutely.
man. He was dropping them gems. That's why.
Oh, you know, keep dropping gems, though. You know what I'm saying? And when we get him back
Yeah.
live, he gonna keep dropping them gems. You know what I'm saying? Because he be out there and he be doing his thing. He's absolutely a great inspiration and motivation uh, for his community and the things that he do and the people that he know. You know what I'm saying? And I've been fortunate to be able to be around him and and just see his growth. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing. Like a lot of the different things that he was talking about, a lot of different things in the series that he was talking about. I kind of knew he was working, but I didn't know he was working. You know what I'm saying? Like but where we from, you know what I mean? You just do what you got to do, and you ain't got to broadcast to the world about that you getting up every day and you going to get it. You know what I'm saying? In the pudding, you know what I'm saying? When he get to show, you know what I mean? When he get to go out and he get to speak to youngsters.
There you go.
Right, he get to speak to youngsters and he get to tell them.
Yeah,
Yeah, baby. Yo, we couldn't wait for you to get back, yo. Sonny was like, yo,
I
we
look,
after them jewels. He was like,
because I'm like, them agents can't stop us.
Nah, that's God's frequency, man.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, like a lot of times the discouragement comes from our connection with people who are family, close, and sometimes it discourages you. And what I do is I turn it around and perfect it into put my energy into the positive state because my grandmother, may she rest in peace, she always say, baby, no matter what you do, let your good weigh out your bad by a long shot. And sometimes we do incorrect things based upon how people may treat us or perceive us and take us for kindness for weakness. And like you said, and that's what I learned from him. You heard what he said. You got to stand firm. You can't let nobody do what they want to do. But it's not just a physical thing. It becomes a mindset thing where they try to play on you mentally and take advantage of you. So, like, for example, I would say one of the phone services, they try to charge you now to for them to do any type of payments and then turn around, go to the store and charge you to make another payment. That's like quiet extortion. That's like leaning on me to do what you want to do, and you can't do that. Not where we from. Some people just don't allow it.
Right.
So that's what it is. That's what it is in corresponding in this business. Like, people use a lot of things, tactics. They think you don't read to understand or could comprehend the language that you contradict yourself with. So even with some of the shows, they owe me. I ain't got to say no name or talk bad about them, but I see you for it, and it doesn't mean that it stops me from performing my duties. And this is what I'm saying. Like in the community, things has changed so much that they don't want to be a part of us, but you want to live around us. You want our dollars. You don't want to control us. So this is where we have to take the initiatives back with our talents to put back into the community. So those young ones that are coming up don't be discouraged and can follow and say, yo, I remember, because this is the legacy that he set right now. If you look at it, look at what he's doing, and look at where I came from, and look at what I follow. So it's what he gave back into society that inspired us, myself, to follow. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really a tough situation, and if you don't have no knowledge of the Most High, you don't have no knowledge of nothing at
There
all.
you go. There you go.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be people say, "Oh, you godly this and godly that." The biggest hypocrites are people that say that they follow the Most High, and then they went their direction, but they ain't going the direction he's supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yes.
why, even in bad business, if you was an honest person doing bad business, but you were honest doing the bad business, and your business was straight, you will never have no problem. And I
God
just
bless
think that in life and what you do. So, like I said, coming out of jail, getting a Grammy, the reporting to the parole, he looking at me to take a urine test and say, "Oh, you got a Grammy?" And
you. Yeah.
it's like, we're gonna let you off parole early, but we want to see what you do. But at the same time, I had an infraction of a violation. That's how I wound up coming home to get the Grammy, because I did season 2 and season 3, the Tupac sketch. I did the slow motion scene. I got T-shirts that are coming out that actually have the different scenes from it, and I have to reach out to Dave to do certain things legitimately wise, not illegitimately. But
Right.
if I have to, I would just use my feature rather than take away from him and use at the same time, which I don't know if he will have a problem with it, but it's just out of respect and the fact of doing business, because he broke history, and him walking away from a certain amount of money and still went underground show me like, yo, you just can't stop. I remember when he started this and was telling me when he was going to start it, and look at it what it's come to now, and I'm so proud. I want to give y'all flowers now. I want to salute y'all. I want y'all to keep going, because as long as you on here, I'm gonna be on here with you.
Yeah.
And it inspires me more. And when I did
Yeah.
the magazine, and oh, that magazine, yo, people still ask me about that magazine. And they like, yo, where can I get it from? I said, you got to go online, and if it's
Yeah.
available, you got to reorder it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about, man. I want to talk a bit, man, about your entrepreneurial things, man, that you're doing in the neighborhood, right? Because there's a method to your madness behind the products that you're selling. You dig? And I want you to talk about the products, and that's why I did not mention them, because you can speak to the story a whole lot better than I can about what you're doing with the products that you have and why, because that's a bigger part of what you do.
Okay. I just got tired of the complaints and things that was affecting me mentally, physically, when I see how we use certain things and we spend so much money. And one day I was just actually just sitting down talking with my dad, who, he's 89. He's currently, going through it at his age. But one day he was talking to me. He was like, he had blew his nose, and like blood had came out his nose, and he was wiping it. He was like, "Yo, this tissue is like, it's not good." And I said, "What you mean? We always use this tissue. This tissue is perfect." He
Right.
said, "Are you crazy?" And this is an 89-year-old man telling me this. I said, "We don't even get along." So I said, "You know what?" It dawned on me when I left from him to look up the research, but it always puzzled me. And then when I
Right.
seen what it had inside of it compared to what I was doing, I said, "Wow, they been through this." It had chlorine, bleach. So that
Yeah.
means that we constantly wipe our skin, and sometimes when you wipe and you see blood, it's because the irritation and what chemicals is coming out of the product itself to go into your pores of your skin. And I said, I found out that when I looked it up, that it does this. So I said, I need to find out, is a paper that could be made, or is it made? Long time ago, been made from
Right.
bamboo, but they
Right.
Mm,
didn't tell you that. So
right.
Right.
when I and I own Con. This is why I humble myself. I gave it out to a couple people. Oh, I broke out from it. But I said, how did you break out from it when there's nothing in there? So God works in mysterious ways. As the person was saying it, another person walked in and said, you can't break out from something that's not in there. So all the stuff that you've been using for so long, you never broke out before. It never irritated you. It never. I'm a woman, so I know. Yes, it has. So you're saying that to say what? Because it's him? Wow, that's sad. And she said, I'm gonna keep buying it. And I started out selling it hand to hand, which I'm still currently doing, getting ready to go into the app and bigger scales of the digital process of it. And it's time consuming. People don't know it takes time, it takes
Right.
money, and with no support and you supporting yourself. I sold out of the toilet paper every time I come. It's none on the shelf
Well, I just
to a local store in the neighborhood. And when people order from me on the Instagram, they hit me up and I send it to them. But I want to structure it in a way where um, it can be helpful to all of us, all
Yeah.
different nationality. And the soap is the same thing, no animal fat. Um, it's no chemicals in the soap. It's all plant based. You may have a cucumber melon. You may have a vanilla
Oh,
oatmeal. You understand? So
I was just
I'm
gonna say
looking.
that I've been
I'm
plant based for 9 years. Okay, so everything that I use is plant based. So you
right.
gotta buy it from me. So when I'm gonna be searching on your site, I'm gonna go purchase some because, like I said, I've been
You
plant
ain't
based
gonna
for
so
nine
you ain't
years.
gonna have to search. Cause after we
Yeah.
finish with all of this, I'm gonna get all the links and all that, and that shit gonna be on Media Made Magazine TV. You know what I'm saying? Like
My
this
Yeah.
brother,
my brother.
me
This
and
my
my
little
brother,
brother.
we made
Right.
her, sea moss, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, studied,
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi stuff. So it like
Yeah.
I'm all in it. So
Right. So
Well,
so we're gonna have it set up where it's gonna be on the site where
my
they hit a link
cousin,
and it's gonna take them to him,
my
baby.
cousin has a Dr. Sabi store where he actually lived with Dr. Sabi for a certain amount of years, and then he started doing the documentary. It haven't finished yet, but one of my cousins is that been with
Mhm.
him for that time, and it's like when we grew up in the house, your moms used to give you that nasty stuff to clean your system out.
yeah,
We always had those things. You
yeah,
understand, the castor oil and all that. So
Right.
I'm so grateful to get in tune with things that matters to us, that when you got your grandparents living to be 100 or 90, you know what that is. And my other
Yeah.
grandmother, may she rest in peace, lived to be 101. My great grandmas that passed away, she said, I mind my business and I went with God. I didn't worry
Mhm.
what your grandfather did. You know how that goes. So I laughed, but they stayed peaceful. So if you don't have a peace of mind, you don't have nothing.
that's
But to
Yeah.
right.
use the natural stuff like sour sop and all that stuff, the
Mhm.
blends of it, people don't use it every day. And this is what part of the craft is, to stay consistent, to stay
Yeah,
building, to stay
that's
working.
right.
I know
That's
people that go to the gym, you work out for nothing and they ain't work out your mind. So what are you working out?
Right.
If you're still in the same place, what do you do with you're in denial? So I don't want to knock no one that's in denial. I pray,
right.
is just stay away, far away. Get away, stay away, far away. Remember those
Yeah.
three things.
You got to
Get away.
remember your body reacts to what your mind thinks too as well. You have to remember
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everything up here.
Exactly.
You gotta open that third eye up here. That's your crown
Yes.
chakra. That's the crown
Yes.
chakra.
That's
Come
a
on
fact.
now. I know.
Cause when I take the sour sop in the morning, I'll be like, it's so nasty, but it removes the toxin. And I
Yeah.
take it before I go to bed. It removes the toxins. So when I
Mhm.
tell them how old I am, they be like, yo, how old are you? I said, I had gray hair from my great grandfather since I was 13 years old. It's in
Yep.
my eyebrows, it's in my
Yep.
arm. So they be like, yo, I be laughing. But TV likes that look. And
Right.
because they know they visualize the truth within their lives. So this is why they
Mhm.
want people like us to come and do these performances. But if
Right.
you sell your soul, you belong to the devil. I ain't with
Mhm.
that. I ain't
Yeah.
with that. I ain't
Not
Right.
at
with it.
all.
I
Not
Right.
at
ain't with
all.
it.
I've never
Not
been taught.
just for anybody else, but just for me deep down inside the core of my soul, I'm not with it. And I know a lot of my brothers and sisters from the West Coast, East Coast, International Island, they not with it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So we just talked about your products and the different things you do, right? Um, I need you to speak a little bit about your community activism, man, right? Because you be in the community and you be doing a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I need you to talk a little bit about that, man. You know what I
Well,
mean? When
I
you with
speak to
kids,
kids.
right?
I'm really about to get on the stuff with coming to the schools and talk to them. I deal with kids now. It's called Tough, teaching financial literacy. And
Right.
even at the at the police academy, they was trying to give us a hard time with the youth, but we still stay focused with it. On Sundays, we're there from 3 to 5. Most of the times, we're just educating them in different boroughs, Long Island, through the basketball, exercise, obesity, keeping their minds right. So, and doing that is another plus as well. And then dealing with the politics of it, people say they're gonna do things like I say, and they do partial, but thinking that they're really doing something, but not intentionally meaning to help you. So that's another battle you have to battle on the struggle of, giving to the kids and giving back to the community. And we gave our book bags, we gave our turkeys, we gave our clothes. I still give out clothes now to people who are in need. And to people who don't have, understand what I'm saying? So we set
Right.
up sometimes and I move around and I drive like I'm driving now. If I see somebody who don't have a pair of shoes or who's hungry, and I do my best out of my pocket from what God
Right.
gave me. Not nobody supporting or
Yeah.
saying, hey, we're sponsoring. Because if you look at the biggest company, they're not going to sponsor nothing. They're going to watch you build it and then
Yeah.
Right.
want to jump on the bandwagon. And I
Right.
tell them, no, thank you. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
So,
Because working
so when you
together is
talk
the
about
answer.
that Deeo, right? So like up here where I be at, people trip, right? So I'll be in my whip, whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? And same thing, like you, everything you just explained. I'll be driving down the street and I look over and I see somebody walking down the street that's a little bit misfortunate than what I am. You know what I'm saying? I'll actually pull over. You know what I'm saying? And get him a box of old sneakers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that I
Hmm.
wore one or two because I can see, you know what I'm saying, that they less fortunate than I am. And I just want to give them something, man, to bless them that day. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't take a lot to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
You know
and
when
now
you know when it really counts, not to cut you off, big bro.
no,
It
go get
counts when
that.
you get tired and you be like,
Right.
I don't want it to when they come up to the window, but God just be like, yeah, just give it to them. I
Just
give it
give
to
it
them.
to them.
So
You know what I
it,
mean?
it they wasn't forced to be that way. This stuff was
Right,
engineered. So
right.
you got to look
And
at
I
the engineered level of it that put them in that place. And some of them are not mentally strong,
right.
and mental health, like they say,
Yeah.
it's a real serious thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And and and
And people
and you
don't know
do
that
know,
you fight your lower self all the time because
right.
the kingdom of the God is within, and so your higher self and your lower self you battle with that every day, but you have to
Hmm.
be able to have a balance with that as well. So yeah,
And
absolutely.
you're gonna be blessed tenfold.
And
You
that's
hear
how
me?
acting came in, because I'm not
Right,
no actor. It just
right.
happened.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, in acting, it's form of real life on how you live with yourself in
Mhm.
society. People
Right.
don't
Mhm.
realize that, to come
Yeah.
up with creative jokes, to be smart, to empathize with people who are less fortunate, and just looking at our lives to make this, that's a real stage. But people
Hmm.
don't know on that stage, it's not a joke. It's
No.
serious out here. When
Yeah.
Yes.
one could cripple an economy and get
Hmm.
away with it and not nothing be done of it. So,
Right.
me giving them that way where I see you, you see me, and say, yo, I could do it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Just like they said, oh, it would never be a black president. It been black presidents. You just
Been
wasn't taught that in history. You
right.
understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you look at life, everything has its actual experiences from life itself to
Yes.
then transpire into the situation. Like I have a good close friend of mine that represents me, Christine, and she is phenomenal, and she's been around me for a long time, and she's community. That's one of the peoples I'm waiting for now, that I'm waiting to do service with the porta potties. So as the wipes, the adult diapers, the list goes on. I have a list. I have a
Right.
list of things. I just try not to really talk about it too much, but I'm speaking about it because it's on your show and the first time, and it probably will never be spoken about on any other show. But people
Right.
gonna want to tap in
Right.
after that.
It's on Media May.
But
Yeah.
I rather, because it's family and you appreciate me and I appreciate you, and we have
Hmm.
a background we come from, a lineage. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Right.
saying? So
Absolutely.
you always want to keep that energy pure, because I salute all the people who are successful and just stay successful, but pass it on. And if you don't do that, that's between you and the man upstairs when it's your time,
Right.
not mine. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
But
Right.
right.
my acting ability, I got the cartoon I'm working on, and I have the little doll, my little mascot. So I have that, and a black woman made that,
Okay.
and it was phenomenal because I respect her so much, and it cost to make. So My
Right.
mom always tried to take it when she see it, so I got one made for my mom. But the
Mm-hmm.
whole object is to show the younger generation that you could do the same thing by if you mimic certain things and you take a little like when we used to watch Fat Albert, the Junkyard,
Yep.
and when we was coming up, it gave you certain inspirations to think outside of the box. When I
Right.
Right.
had my dudes to come to me and say, "Yo, man, I got all this, and you came up with toilet paper." I said, "What?" I said, "Ain't 99.9 of people are full of what?" We don't gotta say that, but you still need that. So it's really
Right.
no competition, and especially if it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
can you
No question.
lose?
You
Yeah.
can't lose. And
So
and I respect.
I incorporate all that in what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I respect the financial literacy, man, that you teach your kids, man, because that's something that was never taught to us, right?
Right.
That
Right.
we had to actually go figure it out. You know what I'm saying? On the fly. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I did. You know what I'm saying? And but I refuse to be told no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like I would sit down with different people and they would explain the little different things to me, but I'd be like, yo, but wait a minute. What about this? And what
Yep.
about that? And you glossed over this. And you know what I'm saying? And you glossed
Hmm.
over that. Are these the things that you do not want me to know? All right, so now I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna figure that out, and then not only I'm gonna figure that out, man, I'm gonna employ a whole bunch of people around me, man, and show them this shit, man, so I can keep pushing this shit out there because these are things that people need to know, son.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
And
but if you look at it, you, I looked at you. So when you bust a move, I learned to bust a move, and then when we came up
right,
learning, you
right,
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So
right,
what
And
they made
literally,
legal do their what they consider 3/5 of a man on their
mm,
corporation to benefit from through
mm-hmm,
Medicaid, medical system, then all that that been around. But
right,
nobody, like you said, taught us. So you learn hands on. So
right,
when I seen that, this is why you was a great importance to my life.
mm-hmm,
And the things that we learned from all the original dudes, the Bricks, the Tracks, the Pig, God bless the dead, Hollywood,
yeah,
God bless the dead. Even
yeah,
though you look at dudes that made marks in life,
right, right,
different. Like my boys that came home and find out they were not guilty of what they were charged for and spent so much time
yeah.
and overturned. Those are stories that are not told. That is law in the book. So that's great inspiration to me to
yes,
become and still keep going to
yeah,
create more of a craft in my character and performing in front of the camera so some people could really realize this is real in life that we all walk through to get to a better stage and a
Yeah.
step in our lives. You
Yes.
absolutely,
understand?
absolutely. And
Because
one of the things
as
that I
you're
learned early, one of the things that I learned early, and I don't know if it was God given or it was purposefully done. We didn't have a medium to have media.
for,
You dig what I'm
No,
saying? And so,
no.
and so one of the first things that in my head I was like, yo, if they shut down all the TVs and all the radios and all that shit right now, how are they going to hear what we got to say?
hmm.
Now I got to create a
Well,
medium for that to make sure that they
we used
can't
to
shut us
connect.
up, that
We
they
used to,
can't shut us down. You know what I'm saying?
we used to connect through her.
Yeah. The
DMA,
tribes.
baby.
You remember they just saying when they braided their hair, the friendly tribes in Africa, and how they used to send messages through the braids and they walk right by them from these
Yep.
ancient tribes, the Olmecs, all these famous people.
Yes. And Mayan.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it was crazy because they could have stopped the war. So why
right,
would you want to do a peace treaty in 1709? Because it wasn't yours.
right.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when you look at people who like the internet and the lady I forgot her name that they went and took her stem cells from her cancer.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
and they still using that to cure cancer. It's phenomenal. And nobody gets paid for it but them. You're not
right.
original queens and kings. You're not ascendants. You're not from the bloodline. So God brought these people to Ethiopia to show them the bloodline. You're
mhm.
not part of the bloodline. So when you say anti-Semitics, you cooked people. You made shoes out of people. So how much is that anti-Semitic? That's way worse than that.
Right.
So now this is what inspired me to think positive, to move positive, not to get off the context or the subject. This
Right.
what gives me the great inspiration to do the performance that I do. I played the homeless person. People don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? The other opposite of what God's created, I'm not playing that
Right.
because that's not in me. No,
Right.
no disrespect to no one, but they came on the backs of us. Everybody comes on the backs of us, but nobody wakes up to speak the truth
Right.
Come
or
on.
or push the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we spending our money with each other, then what's gonna happen? And I thought about it one day. Just wake up. Just like you said. What if nobody did nothing for one day? We'll
Right.
show you who really run things. No television, no food, no internet, no TikTok. Don't even turn on the water. And that's free because they're trying to charge you for air. When you're
Exactly.
trying to take seeds and make it like you own it, yo, you know. Bro, you
Mm-hmm.
know. We'd have
You know
took
I
that.
right.
We'd have went took that.
Well,
Right.
you know what? You know
We
what
would have
free.
went took that, Queen. It ain't
Right.
You know.
yours.
You know
It
what
ain't
free.
yours.
Like you said, is free. You know what free stand for? Food, resources, energy, and education. All of that should be free,
Exactly. But a
Right.
lot of them don't know that. A lot of
right?
them don't know that
Right.
Yeah.
because you're so built on that Willie Lynch, that back breaking, that system that's engineered for you to be poisoned and to be scared of, then you ain't fear God. Then you must don't know who God is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop that. Look at all the
Mm-hmm.
years of oppression.
Right.
And what's the first thing God took from them? No melanin,
Yep.
Neanderthals, that's scientific facts. So when you look at that, they not ready. So
Yeah.
how
Right.
can you teach the kids? Back in the
Mm-hmm.
days when we used to wash cars and do the squeegees and make legitimate money, or when Killer used to come through, Killer Sunday News, you remember
Yeah.
that? The
Yeah.
sodas, everything.
Yeah.
That's what that the numbers, everything you got from us. So when they made it lotto and make $1 billion over it, wow. They took the same lemonade and the same iced tea and sold it to you in a bottle, your grandmama's recipe.
Absolutely.
So those are things that keep my mind going to inspire me to keep my acting ability to keep going to whatever
Yeah.
role I play that's conducive to teaching the next generation to follow. To they show them that not only Denzel was the most impressive one for me. Sammy Davis Jr.,
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. The list
Yeah.
goes on.
You are.
Oh.
You are.
Talking about
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are. You are a blessed vessel. You are using
Hey,
your light.
so Sonny, now you see and understand why what I said when I called you and I said, yo, I'm getting ready to do my man Deeo. And you was like, yo, da 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 da. And I was like, no, I need to have you on this call with me because I need you to have some of this. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
that's my little brother, and I already knew what he was coming with. You dig? I
Oh,
already knew that the jewels was
absolutely.
getting ready to be dropped and some truth was going to be told today. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of conversations, there's a lot of interviews we do. People be skipping around little things, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? It ain't for me to bring
And I
them to the
and I
table.
just want to say too, Dio, the same things that you talk about and saying, no, I talk about. I
Yes,
wear my I have my copper chain. I left it at home today. I felt naked without with my stones in the inside of it. Like I
that's right.
telling you, I'm tapped in.
That's
I'm
right.
super tapped
right,
in. And
right.
people
That's
always ask me when I first got on Media Made, they be like, man, how you getting all these celebrities and these people this and that? I said, I use my light. I said it's
you.
me. It's within. It's you.
Right.
You
You
know,
you know what? I'm
man,
so
you're ready to be
appreciative.
like, you
That's
know.
a fact.
it's
That's
it's
a
it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And it's gotten me far in doing a lot of things that I really love to do. So it's yeah.
no.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Don't
be able
stop.
to use your light. You know what I'm
Now
saying? And you
she's definitely not gonna stop, man, because you already know what we're gonna have around us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have that weak shit around us, you know what I mean, with that misconception shit going
and we
on every day.
Pisces too. I'm a triple water sign. Come on now. We going through life. Come on. Got these
Hey
waters
Dio,
over here.
baby. Hey Dio, what's next? What's
um,
next, man? What
I'm
you
gonna be.
doing next?
I'm working on some new projects. Um, we have the series coming by True Vision Films with 7:30, which family shot. Like I said, the first time out the gate, we had 100 million streams, and they've been giving him hardship of trying to give us a fraction of a cent, and we just laughed. But you gotta fight them. Shout out
Right.
to True Vision Films. They have the tournament coming up where we're paying the kids who win
Right.
5,000 or 10,000. My family is doing it.
Yeah.
But giving back to the community. You'll see it on my gram. There's a lot of things that we want to implement to people to create. Like myself, I want to build a real live acting school for
Okay.
people who don't have the skills or can't afford to really go and exercise to the fullest potential, because that's what I like about Tyler Perry. No matter what anybody say, I'm always say something good. um
Right. Right.
he created the platform for when he started doing those shows and the plays, and you came out with the Browns and other shows that are coming. But if you change the process and you don't continue to do it righteously, then you lose at the throne. You
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
understand? When you
Absolutely.
get in the seat, like you ever see how the Europeans, when they kings and fake queens, they were poisoned by the son or the daughter or whatever it is, because it wasn't theirs in the beginning. So that type of design was
Yeah.
meant in their mind amongst their own set of people. So
Yeah.
imagine when they came across people like ourselves, what they
Mm-hmm.
designed to do. So it was all engineered. So I reversed that by bringing it into my the talent that he allowed me to have, to
Yeah.
receive, to
Right.
then give to the world, where people come up to me and say, yo, I saw you on Dave Chappelle, but I did the big shows first before I did the little shows. you
There
know
you go.
it was a call, but some people, like, I tell them, you don't listen, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful. But that's the problem we have, you
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
ourselves, within ourselves, than any other place.
Yeah.
And I was looking at how it got so bad where Chinese people want to sell you soul food and don't know nothing about soul food. It's not the making of soul food. And I have nothing about against no other race. You understand?
Right.
My grandmother taught me never to hate or have that. But
Right.
when people try to bring these things towards you, and like you said, big bro, you have to defend yourself,
Got
because
to.
if you don't, and the I look at life like Haitians and all these other foreign people that they didn't know, that already had kingdoms and queens and all that was there, medicine. So
Right.
United States was mad at Dr. Sebi. You cure cancer? What?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
cure AIDS? What? And it's documented in court that he won.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Right.
you can't take away from what is designed. So that design comes through my ability to be inspired to do the things I do based upon me being if it's next to best in line actor up and coming, I'm blessed with it.
Of
To
course.
be around people who will inspire me, then take from me. Not saying I
Mm-hmm.
love you, but it's an incentive or a motive behind it. That's
Right.
not love.
Right.
Right.
That's not real. That's unreal. So I,
Absolutely.
I do it halfway, but not come fully. So that
Yeah.
means that I wasn't intentionally intending to help you.
Yeah. But
No
you gotta
question.
realize too, and this is the thing too with Fan. We're real careful too, and Fan's always careful with whoever he works with and whoever we work with. You have to realize that access to the soul is a privilege.
Right.
So not everybody can have access to that frequency now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real mindful of that.
I think
Absolutely.
you know what it is. It's that we're so much giving people, and what happens is, don't take this wrong. Even though we try to be mindful, it's the
Mhm.
love of what the Creator give
Yeah.
us to
Yep.
just open up,
And I
and
still
then
operate out of love no matter what. I still do it.
right,
That's
right,
me.
Yeah. No
yeah.
doubt. Question. So, all right, yo, we running out of time. Hey, yo, Deeo, man, before we go though, I need you to shout out and plug everything and everybody, man. Is I know it's gonna be hard, baby, but
I
get to the
mean, I think Allahu Akbar. I
yeah,
think Allahu Akbar. I
yeah,
think Allahu Akbar. And y'all people for being who y'all are. And I
yeah.
give you your flowers. I thank God that I'm allowed to have my parents at
Mm-hmm.
89 and 87
Yeah.
in this time when people lose their parents,
Yeah,
losing family members. is a thing that it can either inspire you, build you, or break you. I
Yeah.
choose to absorb all of them. So
Yeah.
shouting anybody out is Allahu Akbar. It's
Allah.
Allahu Akbar. It's Allahu Akbar. Because if they're not here, then you just missed it. I
Yeah.
just want to give y'all flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Salute. Keep it going. I'm here anytime, any hour. Anything I do, you're gonna be the first off the press. Like I said, soon as everything is almost done, the shipment to be here. I'm sending y'all a care package.
Got
Come
it.
on,
It,
come
it, it's
on.
just it's just about just staying sharp, iron
Yeah.
sharp and iron. And I'm not
Absolutely.
here. I'm not better than nobody. I ask God every day for forgiveness or whatever,
Yeah.
shortcomings and things that I may come across. And that's just simply it. I want to just make it a part of an IPO, which
Mm-hmm.
y'all should be doing soon. Make that
Yeah.
part of an IPO, your podcast, because people are not ready to enter that dimension right now. And it
Mm-hmm.
takes a king and a queen to work together to
Yeah.
build.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you
Yeah.
got other companies that come in and do what you do, but don't know how to do it because it
But
wasn't
don't
meant for
know
them
how
to
to
do.
do it.
Right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm just being grateful and learning how to, I just want to I want to die free, get my birthright
Mm-hmm.
back. That's a blessing to me. I don't want to die on a corporation because
Right.
God didn't create me for no corporation. He created me solely
Yeah.
me through the wounds of my parent. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
the other
Hey,
shows that
I
are
need you
coming
to
up.
plug in. I need you to plug all your social media site where they can get to you, baby. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well, y'all part of my social media site. Hit me up on Media Made Magazine. Hit me on
Yeah.
DEO official
Yeah.
underscore. Hit me on True Vision Film. You can hit me on just on the internet. Just
Yeah.
I got an IMDb. I
He
mean,
ain't
or
hard to
see me in the
find.
streets. So
He ain't
come.
hard to. He ain't hard to find.
And I'm not running. I ain't running.
Right.
I might be
They never
jogging to
ran.
the masjid to make my prayers on time. But other than
No
that, I'm
question.
grateful.
You heard it
No
That's
first
it.
question.
right here on Media Made, and y'all heard him dropping them gems. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave y'all with one thing: make sure you unlearn to relearn to learn. Okay?
Yeah.
No,
No
that's
doubt.
right.
And Deeo, let me just say this, man, before you go, man. May you be blessed in everything that you do, every day that you do it, my brother, and may you prosper. And each and every day that you do, and each and everything that you do, my brother. And I'm always here for you no matter what, my brother. You heard?
And when you saying prosper, you got to add the family in the WE.
No,
We.
we. You know what I mean?
We.
Hey, yo, with
We
love,
good.
baby.
I appreciate you.
Peace. No doubt, man.
One.
Peace.
Peace.
One.